Hey, Scrap Happy Sisters, it's Alice, and we are here for our January movie night. Now, you may have noticed this was scheduled for last week. I was sitting here in this room, but my notification didn't come up and I forgot. So, if you were trying to be here last week for movie night, I apologize greatly. I rescheduled it right away as soon as I realized. It was funny. Deetra actually said, she said to me, "So how was movie night today?" And I'm like, "Movie night was today?" Like, I didn't know movie night today. So fail, and I'm sorry. I apologize, but we're here today. I'm really excited about the stuff that we have. There's just so many good things going on with our site and with Load, and I just came back from Creativation, so I thought we'll chat a little bit first, and then we'll dig into some of our movie night watching stuff. And first things first, new website. So it kind of looks similar to what we had before, but the base of what kind of contains the membership is totally different. So we put in brand new software. So it's kind of like we used to be on a PC and now we're a Mac kind of thing, you know? And some people are like, well, I don't know. But we want it to be easy for people to use. And so that's why I mean that comparison. We want it to be easy to work with. And that's why I think of that. I just loved those commercials that they had. I'm a Mac, I'm a PC kind of thing. Like, so inside joke for myself. Hey, PCs are great. Okay, you're allowed to love it. Personally, I don't. Those are workhorses, and I want a fun computer that does fun things. So, anyways, we have new software that holds all of the membership, and it gives us a little bit of some dynamic options as we move forward. And one of those great options that we were able to implement was a load gallery. So the great news is we can kiss Flickr goodbye or kick it in the butt and be like, good riddance, because we are not looking for that anymore. And we can host our own photos on our site. So everybody will have the availability to load your pictures into our load gallery. And I am so excited. So I'm going to encourage you to go and do a test photo. Share something about your life, about yourself, like a picture of yourself. If you don't have one, sit there and take one. You know, it's all good, but do a practice round so that you can see how easy it is. Literally drag and drop or select a file and pick your file. It's that easy. It's just like every other place where you're supposed to be able to do that kind of stuff. It works just that good. So I was like, yay. If photos are rotated funny, I will go through and I'll be looking. I don't think right now it gives you the option to rotate it. If it's the right way on your device when you're looking at it, it should load that way though. We kind of had a little test run with that and I think it's working now. So we kind of played with that in the background. You also, if you have loaded a photo and you're like, oh, I picked the wrong one. So say you're picking a file number and you select the wrong one and you load it and you're like, that's not the photo I wanted to load. While you're still logged in, you have the availability to delete that photo. There will be like a little trash can icon right beside the photo that you upload. Once you log out, when you go back in, you can't delete that anymore. But if that's still an issue and you're like, I don't know what I did, it's there. You can let me know and I can delete that manually from the gallery. So it's not like it has to be there forever if something goes wrong. But at first, while you've just uploaded it, you do have the option to delete it yourself. And the other great thing is that when you click on the photos, the little images in the gallery, they get big so that they expand so you can see them in more detail. You can even zoom in on the photos to have a good look at them. And I think that that's a really nice thing. Plus, there's an option for commenting underneath the photos there so that, you know, we can still share all the love on the photos, and hopefully that's easy for everybody. I'm like really excited about it. You know, I told the tech guy, I'm like, well, we need this, and then we need this, and you know, we really need this. And he's like, okay. And then he's like, give me a couple days, and he come back with things, and I'm like, it kind of felt like it wasn't going to come together, but it totally did, and I'm really loving it because it's actually easy to use, and that was the goal. So that is like the biggest change. our own gallery for sharing our photos. After that, we are still working on adding in the chatting section, kind of like the discussion threads, kind of forum-y kind of area. That's still coming. He says he should have it up before load, so I'm sorry, it's just not ready to play with yet, but we should have it up really soon. He's working on creative ideas for that because some things play well together, and he's just making sure we have a really good option that we're actually going to love. So that is the other thing, and that'll be added right away. You may have noticed that even though we haven't really officially talked about load, the load master page is underneath that members only tab when you log in. So you can go to that and see that members only tab. I think the gallery is linked right there. So no, it is, the gallery is linked. The gallery is linked right there. And so you can have a look at that. And I will put together some videos, tutorials on how to add your photos to the gallery, because it's like, but it's super easy. I think it'll be very intuitive. Yeah, so that's really exciting. And so you'll have seen that it's the new colors. So last year when I introduced our new colors with the little refresh that we did on the site, it was kind of like a surface refresh last year, whereas this is kind of like digging underneath and getting the good stuff. We went with like the orange and teal colors, but I was having a hard time. I don't wear orange, and like I just felt like the whole branding was just a little off. So we tweaked it now to bring in the pink, and it's like, this is who I am. This is who you met. This is who you signed up with. So I'm like, yeah, I think it was just a much better fit. I feel a lot better with this, and I'm really excited. It just kind of felt like the right time when we're doing all this stuff to bring that in. So you will see that, and I think it'll be easier for us to identify different things within our group now. You'll see things and be like, oh, totally scrap happy. So I want to kind of go forward with that so that we're more easily identifiable. Yeah, and so yeah, the new membership. I may need to cancel pre-scheduled payments. I know that's painful because it's like setting up things again, but it looks like they don't talk to the new system. So I'm probably going to have to cancel the ones that are in the system right now so that when you go in, it will do the thing. However, that means that it's trying to give our members, our current members, the opportunity to pay the $149 like you're a new member. And I know that you're not. So we have created a special link just for our members to use for renewing for right now. We won't always need that. We're going to get people onto this new system and it'll be fine. But in the meantime, we've created this because you're my people. I'm not going to like charge you the new people rate. So, and it's just like for ease of setup and getting everything set. So if you don't have that link yet, I have shared it in our group, and I have also sent it out to a couple people that requested it previously, and I will send it out in an email. So the link, I'm just going to write that down. I do know to do it, but written down is better. Yeah, so those are some of the new things with the site. I'm really excited. So what do you have to do to be ready for load? Only whatever you need to do to be ready for load. If you need to do an adhesive check and make sure you have your adhesive handy, if you need to, pull together a scrapbooking kit that you want to use, if you need to print some pictures or anything like that, that's the only thing you need to do. If you are joining me with our Scrappy Organization January, tomorrow during the Facebook Live, we're going to be talking about layouts and albums and actually getting them in, because I have a huge stack of layouts that are not in albums, and these pretty ones behind me are empty. So it is time to make that happen, and I'm going forward with that tomorrow. So that's what's going to happen in the Scrappy Organization session. And hopefully you can join me or catch the replay. The replays actually, because it's a Facebook Live, show up right away on Facebook. So that's really easy. So that's a Scrappy organization. We do have some other events here this month. I have looked at my calendar so that I know that. So tomorrow, the organized session is at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern time, and then our plan session is the same time as this. So it is at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern time. So we have two sessions that are kind of back to back. You get like an hour off in between or something, and then we'll be meeting again. And of course, these are like the plan session will be recorded too and available after. Dion says, can you walk us through the uploading process, maybe a post on Facebook or something beforehand? I haven't tried to upload. Yes, absolutely. I can do a post and I can actually do like a screen capture recording that kind of shows the process, but it's literally, you go to the gallery and you can either drag and drop your photo right to the spot. You have to fill in a title. But we've added the functionality that it shows your member name now when you're looking at the photos. So that's a really good thing. Because at first I thought that the titles were going to need to, we'd have to put our names in it, but the guy's been good. He's figured out all the little things. I'm like, oh, it doesn't tell us who put the pictures in. And he's like, okay, I'll get to it. Yeah, so yeah, I will definitely share tutorials for making sure that you can add photos to the gallery. Yeah, so plan session tomorrow, as well as Scrapbook Live, is going to be Friday. So a Friday night, 6 p.m. my time, so 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Friday night is our Scrapbook Live. I would have done it Saturday, which would have been so good for load, but it's actually my son's 21st birthday on Saturday, and so we're gonna celebrate with him. So yeah, let's see. Okay, I think that's all of the little housekeeping things. The happy birthday to you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's funny because 21 isn't as big a deal here in Canada because it doesn't really, it's not a changing anything number, right? Like pretty much where we live, 18 is access to anything that kids don't have. But you know, it's still like you have it in your brain, like that 21 is like the big deal kind of number. So yeah, so it was kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have a 21-year-old. Like, how did that happen? So, but I think we should watch some movies. So as you've heard, I went to Creativation. I can't shut up about it. I'm super excited. And I've been saving a video just for you. I haven't released it yet, so it'll go up after this. I'll release it public after this, but I'm sharing it with you first. It's very short. It's just 5 minutes. But Nuvo, Tonic Nuvo, they have a new product. It's not really scrapbooking, but it's something that I personally love. So I've been saving this for you, and we've got a 5-minute video from Tonic Nuvo. It's not the dots, so so it's something else, and I can't wait for you to see. I think if you've seen my videos, you'll know, hi, this is Alice from scraphappy.org, and you know, then I talk to the person in the booth, but we've changed this one up a little bit. Dion says, your videos were so fantastic, Alice. Thanks so much for doing them, and thank your husband for shooting and editing them. So much inspiration. Daniela says, your videos are awesome. Thank you so much. My husband seriously is wonderful, and you will see a piece of his wonderfulness in this video, because he had a little bit of fun editing in this one. So I can't wait for you to see it. So we're gonna watch this, and I hope you like it too. Here we go.
Hi guys, this is Maria Willis from Tonic Studios, and I'm interviewing Alice from Scrap Happy, and she's going to be showing these gorgeous bags from Nuvo.
So I haven't seen these before, but I'm really excited because I love a good bag. And these come with storage. So I'm just checking it out, and we're going to take them down, and we're going to take a little peek inside the bag and see what we've got. Because, like, look at how cute they are. I am loving this. So inside,
Paper.
well, of course, they always got to be stuffed. But like, there's little sections in here, so you can slip things in on the side. You got your little zipper spot in the back. So, oh, it's really deep actually. That's nice. And then on the front of the bag, there's actually another little area for sticking things. And you actually have little side pockets with magnetic clips. Those are good. And that's on both sides. And look how cute this backpack is, right? You just take a little backpack with you. And
We'll never
carry
know
all
if you're
your
off to the gym or off to craft.
I know. It's like, let's be real, I'm off to craft. But then you have to see this one. So this looks amazing. So this is like a little trunk, but look at the inside. You have all this space for things to like pop out and all of your little goodies. So you can set that on your desk if you're in your class, in your workshop, in your like at your table. You just open up all your stuff. All your goodies are inside, and then when you want to close it up, zip it up closed. There's even a little bit of pockets and stuff on the side too. So that's kind of neat. And then I'm seeing here a fabulous purse. And this one is more purse style. Oh, look at this. It fits so nice together with the rolling bag. Oh, I think I'm getting some new bags.
I know. I want new bags.
So check out this bag.
Oh, it's huge.
Lots of space inside the purse. It's a really, okay, so things that I like personally about purses, because I have a few of them. I like a purse that opens with the zipper all the way so you can get inside. Some of them, they stop the zipper too soon and you're fighting to get inside. Here, you can get inside this purse really easily. And I actually see there's like zips. So you can make this purse bigger on the inside. Check out the extra space that just brought to the bag. Inside, you've got like padded area, stick your laptop or iPad. And then we've got like inside extra pockets. There's more zipper pockets. There's little clips for sticking your pens and stuff. And then you can fit more things on the inside here. So all kinds of storage inside the bag. And then you saw how handy it was to be able to stick that bag right over top of the rolling case. So now let's explore the rolling case because I want to see it all.
Well, before you put that down at my house, that's what we call a smuggling purse. You take it to the movies with all the drinks and all the food, like even a fountain drink in a paper cup. It fits.
I would be a little nervous about a fountain drink in my purse, but like those coffee cups, like that, all approved. So with the rolling bag, let's have a look at this. So there's a great big pocket on the front, lots of space, and they've got like details inside. So there's extra little pockets and areas. You can throw your business card or something in there. So if the worst ever happens and you happen to lose your bag, there's identification right there. Good to go. And then on the inside, there's lots of space. You got like a laptop padded storage. There's a giant area inside for all of your carry-on items that you need on the plane, like a little shawl or scarf or blanket so you don't freeze to death. And then there is a zipper pocket and some more like slip-in pockets inside. And then of course you can throw your water bottle, coffee cup or whatever on the side, throw a few more things in there, and it's good to go. You're ready to roll. So this is your cool new bags.
I know, they're pretty awesome. Thanks for coming over and checking them out. I hope we both end up with some.
Me too. So thanks, Maria.
Yeah, thanks, Alice, for coming over. It was nice interviewing you and showing off the new Nuvo bags.
Thanks so much.
Bye, guys.
Okay. Are we back? Yes. Okay, so I saved that one for you because I thought, like, of all the people that will appreciate me being like super goofy and doing things totally backwards, and that would be you. So thank you for for that. I know. She actually did the most amazing demo for me using all the different types of Nuvo drops. And she showed me like the difference between how they look on white cardstock versus black cardstock. Some of them, when you smear them on white, they have a totally different look than they do on the black. She told me which drops actually make the nicest perfect little Nuvo drops or like dots or whatever. That's the dream ones, just so you know. And, you know, the dream drops make the dreamy little perfect little embellishments. So if you want to see like the Nuvo drops, like she takes you all through all of it. They have some new colors and there's like lots of different styles of Nuvo drops that I didn't know existed before, but apparently I'm not up on it, but I am now. And then we're like, oh, look at the bags. And she's like, I don't know anything about these. And I'm like, well, then let's explore. So that kind of led to all of that. And when my husband, he's like, and when he saw me say like I have a few of them, like he had this idea. So we did like the little show with the bags, and he's like, he couldn't actually believe how many of them I had, and I was a little scared to show him. It was like, oh, confession time. But yeah, so it was kind of fun. So I saved that for you. I'm gonna make it public afterwards, but thank you for being my preview audience. We had our own little premiere with that. And yeah, the bags, I thought they were beautiful, and they had lots of different little bits, as you can see, and I had fun exploring the whole thing. So that was kind of fun. Other things from Creativation, I actually just last night, kind of impromptu, it was a little last minute, I did the interview with the Scrap Gals, my little Creativation report for the Scrap Gals podcast. If you're not subscribed to their podcast, it is a paid podcast. So it's like $5 US, like a month to be part of theirs. They have a new show that goes up every week. And so I did do a chat with the Scrap Gals. So that is on their podcast today. Actually, it's live today. Dion says, just curious, Alice, do you have any faves? I have so many favorite things. And I've saved one video that we're going to watch here together because I wanted to just chat about it a little bit, because it was something that it was really a heartfelt conversation more than anything. If you've watched a lot of my videos, you might have seen it already, but I thought it was really good. So I have notes, multiple pages of notes. So I'll go through and I'll talk to you about some of my favorite things. The big trend, I think everybody will be relieved to know that llamas are pretty much gone and there are no more avocados. I only saw a couple of hedgehogs. And so there wasn't really one standout animal. There wasn't even as many unicorns this year. So I think that's kind of a relief across the board. The biggest thing I saw lots of were rainbows, especially really sketchy tall rainbows. I saw lots of those. Like Amy Tangerine had them, Heidi Swap had them, Maggie Holmes had them, Pink Fresh Studio had some that were a little less tall and sketchy, a little more like what you'd expect from a rainbow. Chamel had some. I think hers had little clouds at the ends of the rainbows. Yeah, I did see quite a few rainbows. Especially the really sketchy tall ones, which was kind of funny because it was like they were all over the place. And then we saw a couple of retro collections, like Dear Lizzie has a really beautiful collection. Like sometimes she kind of doesn't get a lot of attention. Some people don't always like her collections, which this one was really great. It's called Here and Now, and it has some retro vibes to it. It's very summer, and it has little things. I thought the hit for me was that there was gummy bears in the collection, and I just loved it. Like I was like, I didn't know this, but I need gummy bears to scrapbook with. So that was really cool. They have some beautiful golden puffy words, and they're foam thickers. So they have these foam alpha thickers, a great font. It's called Flip Flop, and it's actually 3 layers of foam with different colors, just like in a flip flop, like the like the foamy flip-flops. They feel like a foamy flip-flop. Oh my goodness. So Katrina says, isn't it funny how everyone gets the same idea at the same time? And she says, I love Dear Lizzie. So super wonderful. She is such a sweetheart. She's like one of my favorite people to come and chat with because she's always like really happy to see me. And it's just like, thank you for coming to see me. Like, you know, she always says it. And I'm like, of course, I'm like excited to. But yeah, I always really like chatting with her. So yeah, but those foam flip-flop thickers, so nice, so nice. Let's see. There is a company called Dress My Craft, and they have these shaker elements. And so like there's little tiny little things that you would put into like a shaker, or you could like stick them onto a page, but they have like super fine detail. So there's like little wedges that look like watermelons, but they have like the red, they have the green little rind, and they even have little black dots with like the watermelon seeds. And the kiwis look like an actual slice of a kiwi. And like there are those little teeny tiny little things. Ooh, let me show you, because she gave me a little sample. Here we go. So these are the peppermints. Like you can see the little peppermint ones. And here are those little tiny little watermelons. Like, aren't they just adorable? So it's like a little jar of them. And then there is a jar of, oh, these ones are all different like little candy pieces. It's like the dessert mix. So you can see like different types of candies and dessert things in there. So if you like the old-fashioned candies, there's some that look like the old-fashioned candies. And I think there's even like a little cupcake in there. I don't know, like there's lots of fun little pieces. And I just thought that was really neat. Now I want candy. I'm sorry. I know, super fun. And they sell them through scrapbook.com. And I do have an affiliate link. If you ever decide to use it, I appreciate it because, you know, they give me back like a little bit from sales. It doesn't cost you anything extra. But yeah, Dress My Craft, and these are their shaker elements. Really cute. And they had lots of different ones, and they had these little penguins. Oh my gosh, they were adorable. Like they had like their little penguin feet and their little beaks. And so that was fun. Emerald Creek Craft, if you like embossing, their embossing powders are amazing. We actually played with them at our reunion last year in Calgary. They're actually a Calgary company, but they have just gone with green packaging. So they're making compostable packaging that you can recycle and compost. And it's flat packaging containers now so that it's cheaper for shipping. So it just makes it that little bit easier to get your fun stuff. And then she has like a little bamboo bowl and spoon thing, and you can pour the powder right into the bowl, and then it has like a little spout so you can pour it back into that little bag for afterwards. It's like a zip top little compostable bag. And they had some really cool rock candy embossing texture, and they have some new aromas. So you can have like, they had floral aromas and they had soda pop aromas. And I think there was 3 in each of the collection, but like they had one that smelled like lilac and like legit smells like lilacs. So that was cool. And then they actually have a modern gilding. It's a really fine embossing powder, and they said like they're the first company that's been able to make embossing powder that has like a pastel color. So they've made pastel metallics, and that was kind of cool. Like there was like a lavendery color, and I think a green and a pink maybe or something. How did the rock candy feel? Textury. Like seriously, it's sparkly, textury, and apparently you do something from the package a couple of times or something. Like I would like to see a demo on that one. I didn't actually get to, but it looked really cool. Heidi Swap has a new product called a toner ink. It looks really chunky. Oh yeah, it's chunky. It's like thick and cool. That embossing powder. So Heidi Swap has toner ink, and her toner ink allows you to stamp with your stamps and then put the foil on it and run it through your ink machine. So I know she's like, "Whoa, everybody has been wanting this so bad." There's a catch. The ink comes in a little bottle, and it is it's kind of like an unstable medium. So they can't just put it into an ink pad and have that work over and over again. So you pour 15 milliliters. They give you a little cup that's actually a 5 and 10 milliliter mark cup. So you do it with 5 and you do it with 10, or either way. Then anyways, you have to load a little ink pad. You let that sit for a couple minutes, and then you can use it to stamp and then do your stuff with the ink machine. But those pads are actually disposable because it just doesn't last. So they have a little container that you put it into, like a little airtight like pad, stamp pad. It's like the little box or whatever that your stamp pad would go into. So like a little box like this, but the pad itself that sits inside pops out of there so that you can throw it out, because it only lasts 2 to 3 hours in there. So once you've loaded it up, you got a couple hours to play with it. I would be on the reserved end of that, is what I was guessing from looking at that in the day. Yeah, so back in the day, I had to do that with embossing ink to stamp way back. Yeah, and it's just, it is how it is. But at least that's how their system is planned. Like that's the little refills. You can buy them. You buy a whole kit. It has the ink. It has the airtight case, and it has a few of the refills in it. And then you can buy the refills separately. But if I was doing it, I would like prep my things and then do several at one time, just to make it kind of worth it. Like, it's not like you're going to use up that ink very quickly. It's a good sized bottle. You've got well more than like a few, I can't remember how many milliliters. I don't think I read. But it's like you've got several refills in that bottle. So you just need to, kind of just plan your projects when you're planning for that. But it's pretty cool, and it worked pretty good. Like, if you're looking for absolute perfection, don't stamp. Basically, that would be my suggestion. Don't stamp. But it worked pretty good. Other cool things that I saw would be Lawn Fawn has a magic iris dye. And so think of like a camera, kind of like the lens, the way it opens, like with the 3 layers. It's magic. It's really cool. You move a little thing and it opens up, and they have a bunch of stamps that kind of go with it. So they have like a little bug, and then like the bug is a chrysalis or something like that. And then you open up the thing, and then it's the actual like grown-up bug. I don't know why that did not describe that well, but it shows them in different stages. But so that was kind of neat. Maggie Holmes' collection called Sweet Story, she had a really cool abstract rainbow in her collection. Like the paper, like it was one of the coolest papers because it had rainbow elements to it, but it felt like a wonky, abstract, stretched out, I don't even know. And you could cut it and not even see a rainbow on it if you cut the paper. It was just really neat, and I liked the pattern on it with lots of color, so that was neat. If you have a Misty, or if you've always held off from having a Misty, they've just updated their Misty with some great new features. Basically, they've made the top so you can actually pull it off so that the top isn't exactly the same size as the base, because sometimes lifting the top off the base was not very convenient. They rounded the corners a little bit so they're not so sharp, because they were, and they made it so that when the lid is open flat on your desktop, there's actually a little groove in the lid so you can actually put your fingers underneath it to lift it up, because when it stick down, sometimes you kind of almost have that static cling to the countertop and you can't get your hand under there to pick it up. So they've fixed up their Misty a little bit. I didn't hear what the new price is on it, but I'm assuming that it's still probably going to be pretty expensive. And if you want to stamp on a scrapbook layout, it doesn't solve that problem. Just putting that out there. Whereas like the Tim Holtz version doesn't have the extra 2 corners, so you can slide a whole scrapbook page in there, but it just depends on what you're really using your Misty for, or your stamp platform. My Mind's Eye has one of the prettiest paper lines called Gingham Gardens. It's a floral spring. Last year they had a Gingham Farmhouse collection. This Gingham Gardens is beautiful. There's a company called P13 out of Poland, and their papers were like breathtakingly beautiful. If you're looking for them, like I can find a link for them online, but I know that Christina Swarge with Redefine Creative and the Secret Not Secret Kit Club, she's going to carry their stuff because they actually told me to go look at it. And I'm like, thank you, because I don't get to see everything. But it was beautiful. The papers were gorgeous. The designs were gorgeous. The weight of the paper, ugh, all the good things. Paige Evans, if you like florals, she's your gal. She's got you covered with her Bloom Street collection. It's really nice. And she has these ombre thicker words. I probably will end up with more than one set. Did you find Hackney & Co? No, I did not. Photo Play, super fun. They have a camping line called Camp Happy Bear, super cute. A little builder collection that had construction and stuff, kind of more geared for little boys, not exclusively for little boys. There was like this whole discussion in the comments that somebody got offended that somebody said that it was a collection of boys. And I was like, you can use it for girls. Like, nothing is stopping you. But like, we still identify things generally as girl things, boy things. Like, oh, people. It was a beautiful collection, like really fun. And that was from Photo Play. They also had some collections that have a color me sheet, so it's like a white paper, but it's actually good for using your Copics and maybe watercolors or something. I don't know. I'd have to look at that video to see what she told me exactly, but it was a color me sheet, so it's just like the black outlines and then you're actually intended to color it in, and I thought that was kind of neat, especially since they did it on appropriate paper for that purpose. And they have a Tula and Norbert collection, which has gnomes in it, but most of the papers don't actually have gnomes. Like there's like one or two actual patterns that have gnomes. I think there's one pattern paper that has gnomes, and then there's the cut apart sheet and it has some gnomes. The rest of the papers are just really pretty. And there's some toadstools in that collection. And every time I saw a toadstool at the show, I kind of freaked out. It was kind of a thing. So apparently I like those. I did a chat with Redefine Creative with the Secret Not Secret Kit Club. So if you don't know about them, really cool custom kits, a little bit like Wild Hair, but different. Plus they have a cut file club and lots of fun stuff there. Rena Kay is the daughter of Gina Kay from Gina Kay Designs. And she did a thing with ThermoWeb where she has these neon, not foil, it's like an enamel and there's a flock, and ThermoWeb has like 2 new gel mediums, so you kind of use them with a stencil and you spread the gel through your stencil, and then you kind of let that dry a little bit, and then you put this enamel foil on top of it, or you put the flock on top of it, you run that through your laminator, and the enamel just kind of looks like glossy, like enamel dot kind of feel, or fingernail polish kind of, like a shiny surface. Really cool. That was with their Blanco, and because it dries white, like Blanco white, it makes the neon really pop, especially if you're putting it onto like colored papers like black paper or something like that. That was cool. They also have a Duo meat transfer gel, and that Duo one, you can run the stuff through your through your laminator, or you don't have to. You can just use pressure. You can use it without running it through a laminator. So that was also new. Plus they have their Glitz glitter gels in a selection of neon colors, along with the other, so the Rena K stuff is all kind of neon branded, and then the Gina K stuff is like the not neon stuff. Let's see, Scrapbook Customs. If you're traveling around and you're attending or you're going to some national parks, they have some really fun papers for those. They even have some fun papers for Canadian national parks. So that is new to my Canadian gals. They have one for Niagara. They had one for Banff. They had one for Jasper. They had one for Kootenay. Like they had a bunch of them. So it was really good. They also have a whole collection of beverage beverage collection. So wine, paper, coffee, paper, beer, and tea. They had this whole collection. And they do have a magic and wizard that if you're traveling to a theme park, that these papers would go along with theme parks. Chamel's collection might be one of my overall favorites. She has a collection called Never Grow Up. It has some funky alphabet stickers that I thought looked really fun but usable. Her stickers, they're not glossy, so you can actually write on them, like especially since some of them are labels. But just hearing her talk about her collection, you can see that she really uses the stuff, so that was great. She also had a cool specialty paper that was like a confetti that starts off one color at the top and then it goes to the bottom and it's different color. And there was like a silver foil dot on it as well. And it's like an acetate. Yeah, it was cool. And she had marbles. So she had these little epoxy stickers that were marbles. And I was like, oh, I really wanted that. Like that was just like, I really thought that was fun. Simon Hurley, that young boy with Ranger, 17 years old, he's added to his collection. He has some new colors in his inks and he has some cool stamps. So they're not like clear stamps. He has those too, but he has some like red rubber stamps that actually kind of fit together. So imagine you have a stamp and that's like, this is the whole stamp, but then cut out this piece and cut out this piece and cut out this piece. So here, let me draw this really quick. So you have a stamp and it has lots of flowers on it. I'm just drawing some flowers and you're gonna laugh because like, I'm not a very good drawer. So the stamp here has all these flowers. But now imagine that you cut out this flower here and you cut out this flower here, and then you can take those out of there. So his pattern obviously was way better. So now you can stamp this part without this part, or you can pop them in and stamp the whole thing. And so it gave you the option of having the individual little flowers that you could use. It gave you the option of making a multicolored background really easily, or you could just do the whole thing. So it was really neat in the way that that worked. And he had one with trees, and it was literally just some trees that were like birch trees. Okay, so you've got like these birch trees, and these are like red rubber stamps. So these are the birch trees, but each one was either separate. I think there was one that had 2 trees on it, and they kind of had like slightly zigzaggy lines. So you could put it all together and use it like one big stamp, or you could use one tree by itself. And so that was just super cool. See you, Heather. So I thought that was really neat. So that was just a really interesting thing. And if you want to see a presenter that does a fabulous job showing off his product, he's the guy. Really quickly, Simple Stories. I Want Everything. Everything was wonderful. And they have amazing alpha letters that are foamy that come in, I think it was 12 colors that are part of their whole collection. They match a little bit with all of the lines that they've come out with. So there's always the coordinating alpha letter. Oh my gosh, like it just made my heart go, whoa. So that was wonderful. And they have a paper line called The Best Year Ever. It kind of covers every month of the year. So that was wonderful. If you're looking for an amazing floral, there's Simple Vintage Garden District. So pretty. And then not floral, a little more masculine, if I'm allowed to even say that. Simple Vintage Great Escape. It's more for outdoorsy things. It had some toadstools. I had that moment. But it's kind of like the non-floral nature version of the Simple Vintage Garden District. So you've got the Garden District and then you have the Great Escape. And so that one has like ferns and different plants like that, but not florals so much. They had some cool teen stuff. Teen stuff was kind of popular. So they have a Kate and Ash girly one, and then they had a Bro and Co boy-like one. Yeah, Dion says, yeah, best year ever from Simple Stories is one that I want. And their graphics and their fonts and stuff, and their travel collection called Going Places. Nice. And they have these like little words like, ew, yeah. I will have to have those. They look great. Surebonder came out with a glue gun in conjunction with Lynn Lilly, and it is teal and pink, and it is cordless. So yeah, take it off the base, you go and glue your stuff, and then you can put it back on that little base. And I was like, ooh, turns out I need a glue gun. And they have different glue from Surebonder that's different colors, and they have some that has colors and sparkle, and that way you can use it like a glue, or you can use like an embellishment. I'm like, that sounds fun. So I'll play with that. And it was cheap. It was like 20 bucks or something. Like, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, like a humongous investment. More than the Walmart version, but I don't use my Walmart version. I have it, but I don't use it because it sucks. So this one had all kinds of nice things about it. Stamp Market, really cool stamps. Plus, they have a new scrapbook collection called Miss Modern. I loved that. I chatted with a lady named Sandy Boone from 3 Room Studio, and she has stamp collections, and she has ones that are a little more unique and maybe a little more fitting to some lifestyle stuff. So she's a card maker generally, but she has like some office kind of themed stamps, which I thought were really great because like it was like a desk and an office chair, and it kind of gave you some different stuff for like maybe scrapbooking about your work and your actual life and stuff. So I thought that was cool. Vicki Booten, her Let's Wander travel collection. I love it. It's amazing and fabulous. We Are Memory Keepers has a cool thing called a mold press, and I made a fun thing. Oh, what did I do with it? I thought I just had it right here. Oh, here it is. So you put the piece of plastic into the machine, it heats it, and then you put whatever you're going to mold underneath it. So I put in a sticky notepad, and I used little foam letters to spell Scrap Happy, and then we made this. Isn't that fun? So I thought it was kind of neat. I plan to use it like a shaker pocket on like a card, and then I'll put some little doodads in there. So that was kind of fun. Yeah, I don't know if I would need one, but it's there, and it's like a vacuum mold. So it actually vacuums it down to it to make it perfect. And like they were showing it with like a seashell a lot, and you can use this like a mold. So you could do like chocolates, you can do like candles, you can do different things. So it doesn't have to be quite so tiny. Like I made it fairly thin because I wanted it to be a good shaker size for myself, but you can do them a little thicker and on different things. It was kind of neat. So that was the We Are Memory Keepers. I forgot to talk about Ella Boulevard. If you're looking for pet stuff, they have one called Cooper for the dogs and Chloe for the cats. And they have some die cuts called cutouts that kind of coordinate with their stuff. They were really nice. Deflecto had storage. Doodlebug was very doodlebuggy, very party because it's their 20th anniversary this year. They actually gave out sprinkles, like cake sprinkles. They're not for scrapbooking. They're like cake sprinkles. They're in a celebration of their birthday. So that was interesting. And candies. Other thing, Concord and Ninth. It's a stamping company. I really love them. They have the turnabout stamps. I just did a little video showing how you use it. Basically, you stamp and then you do a quarter turn, quarter turn, quarter turn, and you can stamp with different colors and make really cool backgrounds that kind of layer in between each other. So fun. But they also came out with a new die, and it's like an infinity die. So they have like a circle, and it's like a card, and you would open it up, and when you open it up, so yeah, like it's card, like so it's a circle. When you open it up, all of a sudden there's like another little thing, and you take that and you open that up, and then you open it the other way, and you open it the other way. And it was like really fun. So that was really neat. And they've actually, for February, they're introducing it as a flower, and it was really pretty. So I was like, oh, that would be kind of fun. Yeah, so those are some of my biggest takeaways. I did lots of stuff. I saw lots of things. If you have to run, I'm just going to say thanks for coming today. I'm really excited that we have our load stuff figured out. But I'm going to finish today with playing my chat with Catherine Tashjian from Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine. And I really loved chatting with Catherine. I think that what she's done in building her magazine and doing the events and everything that they do, I think it's really cool. It felt like a real heart-to-heart conversation, and I just really appreciate like how open and sharing she was, like all of these things. If you haven't heard, she was recently on the Craft Your Life podcast with Amy Tangerine. Is that what it's called? Correct me if I'm wrong. John says that was my favorite video. I love what both of you are doing for us crafters. So it was really fun. We got into a little bit of the stuff that she talked about on the podcast. The podcast maybe went even deeper, but I thought I would share that as our final video today. So if you've watched it or seen it already, then sorry, but we're gonna watch that one now. I really like chatting with her, and I thought it was like a good heartfelt conversation about this world. Craft a life you love. Thank you, Dion. I'm like, I'm missing something. I'm saying it wrong. Oh, and Dietrich's got it for me too. Thank you. Okay, so I will share that video. Here we go. And play.
From scraphappy.org, and I am at Creativation 2020 with my friend Catherine Tashjian. Well done. There's not many that can pronounce that last name, so well done. And you didn't even ask me about that. But I remember one day saying, I used to say to people, it's Tashes and Cash, gin is in the drink. And it was the best when my 6-year-old said it to somebody, and I was like, we need to rethink that. Probably not the best way to say that. So, yeah. Like, okay, my kid knows all about gin. Right, all about that. Yeah, cash and gin, it's not good. So you have an amazing business. You have an amazing company, and you're super inspiring. And I love more. I know. Eat it up. I'll keep dishing it out. But I'm super inspired by what you've done and how you've transitioned over time. Can you give us a quick little intro to your story? Well, everybody grab some snacks, we could be here a while. No, you know what, it was a dream that just step by step, one step at a time, became a reality. And one of the biggest things I always say is, eat fear for breakfast, digest it by lunch, move on with the day. And I think that, I tell that to my kids all the time: walk through the fear, lean into the fear. It's okay. And when you're uncomfortable, it makes you think wider and a little deeper. And what comes out of that usually is something pretty amazing. And when I walked the show floor in 2006 saying, hey, I'm from Canada and I'm going to launch a free magazine, I think everybody looked at me, patted me on the head and said, oh, cute girl from Canada, that's crazy. And, I had to just slowly just show them that, you know what, we can do something different. It's things can be done, the same thing can be done over and over and over, but when you do it with kind of new life and new breath, it can be different. And we're fortunate to be walking the show floor 14 years later, and we're still here. So you're still here. And can you tell people, how do they get the magazine? Because things have transitioned a little bit over the years, right? Yes. It used to be you could get it only in Scrapbook and Cards Today, and you can find us at scrapbookandcardstoday.com. And it used to be that you could only find us in your independent store, or you could view it or download it for free online. So we have maintained that, but over the years, of course, we've lost so many of our independent stores. So we have a partnership with scrapbook.com. They get 6,000 copies that they distribute, which is lovely. And we also are in about 600 Barnes & Nobles through the US.
all the chapters Indigos through Canada, and I think 180 books a million in the southern US. So it has changed a little bit. You can still go into your local scrapbook store if they carry it and get it as a gift with purchase. Or of course you're going to buy it retail in the other locations. Yeah.
And then you can still get it for free online. Like,
Still download
what
it.
can you,
Our
like,
first
that's
issue.
amazing.
Our first issue has been downloaded over 1 million times, and it's terrible. And I have women sometimes who reach out and are like, oh my gosh, I have every issue but that first one. And I'm like, you don't want it. It's terrible. But you know, the interesting thing is when you start something, you're going to be terrible. You're going to be terrible, and be okay knowing it's going to be terrible the first time you do something. But each time you do it and you lean into that fear a little bit and you do it again, it gets better. And every issue, I think, progressively just got better.
And they're amazing now. And you have an amazing team behind you.
I do not do this alone, and anyone who thinks they do is sadly mistaken. I have the best team. And you know, each editor and each art director along the way has helped to shape and mold and form, and I'm so happy I had them. But you know, now I deal with, you know, our editor-in-chief is Susan Opal, who is just a gift to me, and Kathy Zilski, who is our art director. And I remember when I started the magazine, I put Scrapbooks, Etc., which was my favorite magazine in the industry. I put Martha Stewart and Real Simple on the table of my art director, and I was like, give me that.
That's
you know,
what I want.
That's what I want. We did not get that. We did not get that for a lot of years. But I think when Kathy Zilski, when Kathy Zilski came on board with us, she's like, I know what you want. You want it to be clean and simple, which is who she is, but you want it to be fresh, really fresh. And I think that's, you know, the pages are white, a lot of white space. And I said, the white space, let the artwork speak. Don't clutter that up with backgrounds. Let the artwork be what speaks.
And it's absolutely beautiful. So it's called a magazine.
You're so kind. We
but
can hang out all
really-
day, okay?
But it's really more than a magazine. It's like a book, because it's something that you're going to save. Like, I'm one of the kind of people that save my issues because they're the ones you go back to.
Well, they're somewhat timeless, and we include sketches, and they're really timeless. And when the magazine was first starting, my husband, who is in the print industry, brought all the paper samples home for me to try. And I remember running my hands going, oh, no. And then I got to this beautiful silk text paper, and I was like, that's the one. And he said to me, you can't afford that. And I was like, I can't afford to not be on that, because I just walked this trade show, told them I'm going to launch a free magazine, and they're expecting it on birdcage liner. Like, it's going to be terrible. And I said, so I want a quality paper. And we've stayed with that paper. And that's what people say, like, it's so thick and luxurious feeling. We can't cut that. There's a no cut policy with that magazine. So I laugh, and it allows people to, I think, to keep it fresh, and it holds its shape. So.
Yeah. So not only is it beautiful, it's lovely. And since then you've progressed, because businesses transition and they grow, and you host events.
Well, I always say very famously that the words that bring my husband to his knees are, I have an idea. So in 2011, when we were having breakfast one morning, I said, I have an idea. And I see the look of fear across his face sometimes. I really do, because you know, not everything sticks. I throw spaghetti at a wall and it doesn't all stick, but some ideas are rooted pretty deep, and that was one. And I said, I don't know who our readers are. I mean, I can interact with them online, and they buy our subscriptions, or they're buying it in the store. And unless I'm in the store the day it's released, I don't know who they are. And I said, I want to host an event. My husband sweetly looked at me and said, sweetie, what do you know about hosting an event? And I'm like, well, I don't know anything about hosting an event. And I said, but what did I know about launching a magazine? I didn't know anything about that. So I said, let's do an event. And so the first event, like the first issue, was a little rough. It was, you know, a little bit rough, but we were like, okay, we can do better. And so we planned another one, and then we're like, let's do 7 this year, because that sounds like fun, and let's host them all across Canada, because who doesn't do that?
And just like this little country.
Just little country. I remember the one time I said to the team, by the way, we have an event in Moncton and an event in Abbotsford on back-to-back weekends. The fact they're still with me, I don't even know why, but you know, we grew the events, and I wanted the community to come together. And as we lose our stores, people just don't have that community the same way. And I mean, I respect so much an online community because I remember that's what brought me into this, two peas in a bucket and all those online communities. So the fact I love what you're doing because I think you're still reaching people in an amazing way. But I get to see them and love them up in person. And I love that part of the business that,
Well, that's exactly what we had to do. We actually do a live event every year within our community too. We call it our family reunion because they're
That's
part of our
what it feels
Scrap
like,
Happy family, right?
Yeah.
You meet your friends and you hang out with them, and it's amazing the connections that you make.
It's beautiful. And some of those people, I mean, if I lived in their community, we would be fast friends. There's no doubt, as all across the country, we see 1,000 women a year, and I get to, just walk into a room of friends. And there was somebody who came to one of the events this year that said, everybody is so nice. And I said to her, well, if you're not, you get voted off the island. And she laughed and looked at me as if I was very serious. And I'm like, well, you don't. But we don't attract that person that maybe, and I always say, when they get to our events, these women, they've had to do something to get there. They've had to, they've had to deal with, their work or a husband, a child, a fur baby, a parent. They've had to really make sure everyone else is okay to come to an event. And then I always say, now you're here and now you're mine, and I'm going to fill your cup up for 2 days. And you're going to learn and laugh. And then I get up and say, hey, it's your weekend. You want to create a layout? Fantastic. Go for it. You want to go to your room and sleep half the time? Excellent. Go do it. We don't host any page challenges. There's no competition. We take all the competition out of it. So do not dress up your table. I don't care. You want to come down in pajamas? I don't care.
Dress up your table if you want. It's super fun.
And that's fine. You totally can do that. But, I always say, this is your weekend. You do you. And be with your friends. Eat all the things you shouldn't do. Buy all the things you probably shouldn't buy. And just enjoy the weekend and fill up your own cup. Because as women, we don't do enough of that.
And you're hosting another event, and I'm scared to mention it because I heard you sold out in like
36 hours.
30
So it was a dream of mine in 2018 to bring some of my favorite people in the industry together. People we've worked with a long time: Heidi Swap, Vicki Boutin, Amy Tan, Shamel, and Paige Evans. And they've all taught at multiple events that we've done. And I was like, ladies, I want you all in a room together. And I literally sent the email out to all of them, and they're like, we're in. It'll be good. It'll be a party. It'll be fun. We're in. Had no idea what I was planning. They didn't ask for details. They were just like, I'm in. And so we will host that in May. So it's an education-only event, different than our Crop and Create. So there's no cropping. It's all education-based. So everybody coming will take all 5 classes. And it sold out in 36 hours. We opened it to alum.
I got in. I'm so
happy.
excited.
We're going to have such fun. And I'm super excited about, just people are coming from Sweden, Brazil, Italy, Germany, Bolivia, Brazil, Mexico, I think 28 US states, all across Canada. It really, tons from the UK. I mean, I'm so excited to bring people together from around the world into something so fun. So it's exciting. And in Canada, I mean, their dollar stretches so far for us, right? Like, it's good. It's good for them.
It's not good when we travel here, but it's great when they come to us.
And it's at the Airport Hilton, so super easy by shuttle to get over to the hotel. And the Hilton worked really hard to get this event. Like, they wanted it as much as we wanted it there. They wanted it too. So I'm excited about that. So it'll be a busy year. Sleep is so overrated.
So I'm always curious, do you have any idea of what's next? Where do you even go from here? You have a fabulous magazine.
I just had a super exciting meeting, so stay tuned for 2021, friends, because it might turn out to be nothing, but I'm always like, don't ask, don't get. So I shoot for the stars always, and then say, let's make it happen. So,
well, I'm excited. Put me on the list.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to be in this room. I'm excited to be with friends here. I just turned 50 2 weeks ago, and it was such an amazing time of reflection. And just, I hosted a party at our home, a cocktail party, and it was people from all areas of my life, right from my best friend since I was 4, right to all a snapshot of people. And last night I hosted a dinner here, and it was the same thing. It was right from my very beginning, the people that I met. And, there was just 18 people in that room that have touched my heart in a great way. So it was
People
great.
that make a difference. You found your family.
I did.
Right? It's creating this family. Family is more than just the people that are related to you, right? It's the people that make an impact on your life.
Sure, and I say when we work together, all boats rise. So, I hate competition of any kind, and so I'm like, which is why I love the stamping village that we're in, where all the stamp companies have come together and said, we are all crafters, right? And so let's be crafters together, and let's create this amazing environment for us all to be together. So, yeah.
This is amazing.
Oh, and you're amazing.
Well, thanks.
And your husband behind that camera's amazing.
Oh, he is. He is.
I gotta give a shout out to that. Yeah, to the guys. Mr. SCT is my husband is called, and he comes to several events in the year, and it's so nice because I think he gets to really see what I do and get to see the beauty of what I do. I mean, he does all the photography for the magazine, so we have to, deal with obviously the advertising and the financial end of it, and then deal with all the photography and all the distribution. So we don't always have the fun in the magazine world. That's the stuff that's got to get done. But when he comes to the event, he gets to just see me open right up. And, he came last year here when we held an event here last year, and he came and it was on day 3 like we are today, and he came onto the show floor for the first time, and we walked in the doors and we took a selfie, and I was like, my 2 worlds just collided right here, and it was really fun for him to see just, I think, how much love and respect the magazine gets. So, yeah.
Thank you, friend. Thank you so much. And you had a little something that you...
Yeah. Thank you. See, I can go off track and no problem.
It's all good.
So, friends, this is our winter issue, and I'd like to give one away to someone who leaves a comment on this video. So when will this video go live?
Very soon.
Okay,
We
so-
edit and get them up as quickly as
Okay.
we can.
So why don't we say by Valentine's Day? So up till February 14th?
Yeah,
Is that good?
that's fantastic.
Okay. And then if you leave in your comment the name of your best crafty friend that you love so much, I'm going to send them a copy too. So you're going to follow up on that, and you're going to just tell me where to ship it to, and I'm going to share a little SCT love with the Scrap Happy Friends. So, and I would love you guys to also follow the magazine. You can find us at scrapandcardstoday.com. And maybe in the comments, you'll just put where they can find us too. And then I'm going to share that on our Facebook, and we're going to send our friends to you. Awesome. Because that's what it's all about. It's just sharing the love.
Sounds good. So make sure you leave a comment under the video.
Yeah, because you and a friend. And think how happy your best crafty friend will be when they get a magazine in the mail.
And if you are sitting there saying, I don't have a crafty friend, I'm all by myself in this whole scrapbooking crafty world by myself, you're the person that needs to come and check out Scrap Happy. We are an online community for people just like you. I get told all the time that I was by myself until I found you, and now I have people that understand. I have people that understand how important this is. So come on over to Scrap Happy to check that out.
And we have people who have come to the events as singles, and we put them at a table together. It's what we call the singles table.
Table 19.
Table 19. And we have a table 19 that have met years ago at the events, and they're so awesome together. And they met their people at the events. So I think if you're meeting them online or you're going to a live in-person event, I said, meet your people. They're out there. They really are. So, and yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Catherine. This is fabulous.
Well, thank you.
This is Alice Bull from scraphappy.org at Creativation 2020 with Catherine Tashton from Scrapbooking Cards Today magazine.
Okay. There we go. Okay, well, that was our chat. That was the chat that I had with Catherine. And, it just chatting with her like that just made me love her more than ever. And it was kind of actually one of my goals was to be able to talk with her about the magazine, because I met her my first year on the floor kind of by accident, not even actually knowing who she was. And she has kind of always been like, you've got this, go for it. Like, when she says, don't ask, what you don't ask for, you don't get kind of thing. Like, she's kind of said those things to me a little bit every year, and we've had some good conversations, but I've never been able to get her onto camera until this year. So I was really excited about that. And I just think that it was yeah, for me, it was really fun to kind of get that opportunity finally after 4 years. And I just loved how, she really does believe in the, like the everybody rises together. And I've seen that in action. Last year, she actually hosted an event that she'd mentioned, and she got all of these different companies together, had all of them come together to do little make and takes, brought everybody into one great big room, had amazing like goodie bag giveaway things. And I got like a last minute kind of I half crashed the party. Okay, let's be real. But just to see everybody coming together at one big event like that, it was really amazing, because you can see that there is support within this community. And it's tough, we hear with scrapbooking that things, like are going declining and going downhill, and there's not that many people doing it. But I see a lot of hope as well in this industry, and I want you to have the chance to hear that, because yeah, there might have been fewer booths at Creativation, but the people that I saw there and the people that were introducing new products, like that's encouraging. Like I saw people doing their shopping, and when I found the new booths and I found new products, I thought that was a really great thing. So it's maybe not as dire as we sometimes hear, and I think that's a good thing to hear. Thank you for staying. I'm sorry I ran over our regular time, but I just thought that would be really kind of a good way for us to finish that. If you have any questions, have any problems with the new site, please email me. You can email me at the support@scraphappy.org email. You can always reply to one of my emails as well that I send. Like, I know that some of them are on lists and stuff, but it doesn't matter. They all come back to me. So go ahead and hit reply to any of my emails. It's all good. Katrina says, we've been hearing that for years, but we're still here. Exactly. And as long as, I always tell the people, like the booths and stuff, I'm like, my goal is to get the girls, get everybody shopping and buying the stuff that they want. But I don't want us to become like secondary hobbyists, like where we scrapbook and we hoard supplies. I want us to be using this stuff. And that way we actually need more new, fresh things, right? We're not just hoarding it. So that's my goal. Loda's going to be part of that. You guys all know how awesome it is. So I'm like preaching to the choir kind of thing, right? Like, yeah, I'm excited. If you are not yet a Harry Potter fan, then I can't wait to introduce you to a little bit of the Harry Potter world and some of the fun things that are involved in that. As with all of our loads, it's not about scrapbooking about Harry Potter. It's about scrapbooking our own stories. So I feel that everybody will find their story within that. And if you are a muggle wishing that you were a wizard, or a witch or a wizard, then this one's for you, because it is full of Harry Potter themes and references, and it'll be a really fun way for us to take an adventure with our own scrapbooking stories. So I'm really looking forward to that. Of course, our first prompt will go out before the 1st, technically on the 31st at 9 p.m. Pacific time, which is midnight Eastern time. So that's when our first prompt will be out. So this is happening on Friday. Like, this is right away. Really exciting. If you've sent me your layouts, thank you so much. I haven't downloaded all of them yet, but I'm going to be grabbing them here today off of the download. So thank you for sending me everything. I appreciate that. Yeah, Katrina says, I can hardly wait. Me too. Me too. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today, and happy scrapbooking for real. I think that we're entering a really, really fun time of year. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow during the Scrappy organization session. And the plan session is also tomorrow. We got lots of stuff happening. I had to book a lot of things after Creativation, so it's a busy week. Okay, thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Bye.